Respect all builds is a term that we all need to leave in the past, because how the hell am I supposed to respect a car that looks like this? Yeah, from terrible sounding VQs to absolutely corny stickers, we're gonna be looking at 16 car mods that absolutely nobody should ever have, unless it actually makes you happy. In that case, who am I to stop you? We have a whole bunch of mods to cover in this video, because instead of splitting it into multiple parts, I thought why not just make it a big video, you know? So without further ado, we're gonna start with the first mod on this list, which is Extreme Camber. Okay, for this one, you can argue that a slight camber isn't so bad, especially on drift cars, but purposely having your street car scrape everywhere you go just to not even look good is a mod I'd personally never understand. You pay for the mod, you pay for the damages it costs, and you sacrifice how the car drives and you ruin the looks of the car. Literally a lose, 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 lose. But like I said though, there is certain cars that look good with the right amount. But when you have cars like this that are literally sweeping the floor, then we have a problem. I feel like most people who do these mods don't actually care for their car. When you have camber this much, the car literally becomes useless. It significantly decreases the performance of the car and you can't even drive it properly. The only reason why I think someone would willingly get this mod is because they love attention. I can't think of any other reason why to get this. Unless you're a drifter, but 99% of people with cambers aren't, so there's that. Just do yourself a favor and keep your wheels straight, okay? The next terrible mod that people just need to leave in the past is aftermarket butterfly doors. Okay, so the general rule of thumb is if your car doesn't come from the factory with these doors, don't add them. Especially if you drive regular traffic. I've seen cars like the C8 Corvette that don't look too bad with these, but when you have a Nissan 350Z or a Honda Civic with scissor doors, then you know something is up. Just like the cambers, in my opinion, these don't even look good at all. They look extremely tacky and they don't even make you look rich. So let's stop making our doors go up when we only drive $5,000 cars. If you want your doors to go up that bad, go get an Aventador or a McLaren. And third, we have one that's not specifically a mod per se, but everyone who has a claw mark on their headlights needs their license stripped away immediately. It's typically the V6 muscle cars who have these, the Chargers, the Camaros, the Challengers, and I personally have never thought claw marks looks good, so I have no idea why in 2024 there's still cars with claw marks that exist. Like no, they do not make your car look more aggressive or cool. Unlike the last two mods, there's no car, and I mean zero cars that can actually successfully pull off claw marks. You could take the most beautiful car in the world, and as soon as you give it these garbage claw marks, it will automatically look terrible. I've always wanted to know what the people who had these on their cars are thinking. Like, what is their motive? Do they think it makes their car look menacing? Ooh, my V6 muscle car has battle scars, you better watch out. Like, no, take them off. They didn't look good 10 years ago, and they most certainly don't look good today. I automatically assume that everyone who has these claw marks has an ashtray in their center console full of cigarettes. Don't ask me how I know, I just know. And for this next mod, it's extremely similar to Clawmarks. The eyelashes on the headlights, and these are somehow always paired with the fuzzy steering wheel covers, and they just make me want to gag. Both these mods are exclusive to the women who drive Nissans and don't deserve a license. Talk more about a car. They have no regard for human life, and they'll casually go 120 miles per hour in a school zone. You would never find a car with these eyelashes untouched. They will always have a lot of visible body damage because the people who own these cars cannot drive. They are hazards on the road and need to be eradicated immediately. I'm sure y'all know the type of people who drive these cars. I'm not gonna make this a stereotype video, but you know who I'm talking about. Jokes aside, the eyelashes are terrible. They're ugly, they don't do anything to help the car, they're goofy, and honestly, I think, or I hope, everyone who gets these does it as a joke, because there's no way anyone actually thinks these look good. If you're watching this video right now and you have these, pause this video, go to your car and rip them off, and then come back and give me my watch hours. The next mod is a throwback, and that is Donks. Those abnormally large wheels typically seen on American classics. See, I like to give respect where it's due. Back in the day, like in the early 2000s, these were nice. People who had these were those guys. But if you have Donks in 2024, I don't know what to tell you. One thing I do want to tell you is keep them exclusive to classic lowriders, please. Why should a Camaro or a 370Z ever have Donks? I don't know. They look extremely goofy when it's not on the car that it needs to be on. But like I said earlier, these aren't that bad. It's not like it's life or death. But similar to Cambers, it is kind of a hit or miss. If done right, they can definitely look decent, but 90% of the time, the car just looks like a circus car, and you do not want your car to look like a circus car, my friend. Keep your wheels normal size, please, for the sake of yourself and everybody else's eyes. Understood? Okay, moving on. In 6th, we have ball sacks. This one speaks for itself, so I'm just gonna go ahead and move on to the next one. For this next one, we have Upbadging, and this is one that we can all come together and say that it is silly. To be honest, when Upbadging is done as an obvious joke, it is kind of funny. Obviously, no one thinks your Toyota Prius is a Koenigsegg Agera, but the problem is when people try to be slick with it. It's a lose-lose because 1, the people who know cars know you're Upbadging, and you look silly. 2, the people who don't know cars don't even know what you're Upbadging to, so they don't care. I never understood why Upbadging was a thing, and it's typically always the Mercedes and Beamer guys who do this. Like, we know your 328i isn't an M5, buddy. They don't even try to make the Upbadge kind of believable. Like, they don't even try to go up one trim, so it's like, okay, it's not that bad. They usually Upbadge a base model car to a top of the line trim, which makes it so much worse. I promise you, nobody cares that much. Stop trying to be something you're not and just be yourself. There is no shortcuts to success, so actually work for the car and stop Upbadging. I'm out here turning into a motivational coach because of Upbadgers. Down badging, on the other hand, is something I could rock with. It's a nice silly way to catch people off guard, but like I said, there is no positives to up badging, so stop. In 8th, we have when people put large wings on cars that don't need them. Similar to the butterfly doors, it is a rule of thumb that if your car doesn't come with these wings from the factory, they don't need them. No reason why your 300 horsepower Infiniti should ever have a 992 GT3 RS wing. Your car doesn't need that much downforce, and it never will. Most of these cars can even go fast enough for the wing to actually produce much downforce. Leave the large wings to the cars that actually need them, please. 1, they don't work for your car, and 2, they don't look good. So you just wasted your money for something that has no performance or aesthetic benefits.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Before we move on to the next mod, if you've made it this far, I'm sure you're enjoying yourself. So please make sure that like button is blue and you're already subscribed. And also a reminder that I did launch a Patreon. I know. This is where you can get more exclusive content of my everyday life, whether that's a behind the scenes, taking fun cars for a drive, Q&As, just everything I don't post will go on the Patreon. So make sure you check that out. The link would be in the description and in the pinned comments. Alright, that's enough. Okay, for this next one, this is arguably the most annoying on this list, and that is straight pipes, especially on VQs. Why do people spend money on straight piping a VQ? I will never understand. This stock version sounds so much better. Why would you ever want to be a grown man or woman with a car that sounds like this? Hey, if that sound tickles your pickle and that's what you like, who am I to judge? Me personally, I'd rather hear a Tesla rev. Exactly, that's how terrible the VQ sound. And I know a lot of you guys watching this feel targeted. Good. If you're gonna make your car loud and obnoxious, at least make it sound good. Spend a few extra bucks on a decent exhaust and save yourself the embarrassment. And even if you don't have the money for an exhaust, keep the VQ stock, my friend. I promise you it's less embarrassing than sounding like a trumpet. Alright, I feel like I should tone it down a bit. This is a reminder that this video is lighthearted and should not be taken seriously. If you feel targeted by any of these mods, don't listen to me. All that matters is that you're happy. That being said, if you have a squatted truck, ignore everything I just said and sell it. Make the world a better place. There is no case or scenario where a squatted truck looks good in my opinion, and it's literally just a safety hazard. People with squatted trucks are typically the biggest douchebags known to man, but hey, I'm getting carried away. This isn't a stereotype video after all. Let me know if you want me to make a stereotype video, by the way. I feel like that would be fun. Anyway, squatted trucks don't look good and serve no purpose at all. Maybe I'm missing something because I'm just talking out of spite, but I doubt it. I do love trucks, don't get me wrong. Like, I won't mind owning a Raptor or a TRX, but squatted trucks gotta be the worst things ever invented by man. After straight pipe VQs, of course. They're both equally terrible. For this next one, it's not a specific mod, but instead it's multiple, and that is just fake things. Whether it's fake vents, fake hood scoop, fake carbon, all that is just so silly to me and look extremely tacky. Fake carbon and vents have never looked good. They weren't in style 20 years ago, and they most definitely aren't in style today, so can we stop with the fake stuff? This is on the exact same boat as Upbadging, to be honest. It's just attention hungry people who do stuff like this, because deep down, they know they're wrong, but they do it anyways. Be yourself, my friend. You know damn well those fake hood scoops and vents don't lead to anything. And not only do you know, we also know. I'm pretty sure Honda never made a 1992 Civic with a hood scoop and hood vent, so stop trying to fool us, buddy. I promise, nobody cares if you drive a stock car. It's even more respected when we see you happy with what you have than trying to be something you're not. Stay down till you come up, my friend. In 12, we have one that is slightly controversial, so if you disagree, I completely understand. But I think racing stripes are extremely ugly. I've never been a fan of having two lines just go down the middle of your car, and honestly, I don't think I ever will. It's like, why ever have that when you could take it off and have a solid color, which is 10 out of 10 times gonna be so much cleaner. But I do understand that beauty is subjective, and people have different tastes, so this is my opinion, and don't take me too seriously. I just think racing stripes are a little too much. It's like you're trying hard to make your car look like a race car. But this modification isn't nearly as bad as everything else on this list. This one is just a matter of opinion and nothing else. So if you have racing stripes on your car, it probably looks good, and I'm just yapping, so don't take me seriously. The next one is also controversial, but I find it extremely obnoxious when people put excessive burble tunes on their cars. Backfires and slight pops are cool to an extent, but when you make your car sound like literal farts, it's like, what are you doing? Why would you ever want to pull up to the function with a car that sounds like this? If you're gonna go with burble tunes, keep it cool. Don't let it last extremely long to the point where it makes your car sound like the average Taco Bell customer. Too much of everything isn't good, and that goes for every single mod, especially burble tunes. We got about 3 mods left, so I'm gonna get on with this quickly, because I'm sure this video is getting long. The next thing people do that is ugly are hood deletes. This is typically done in JDM cars to show the engine bay, but recently it has been a trend for Mopars as well. The owners of these cars take off their hood to show their superchargers, but even the scats in the V6 owners also do this without a supercharger. I don't know why they do this, if they're trying to fit in or whatever, but save yourself the embarrassment and put your hoods back on. It looks extremely tacky and it doesn't prove anything. It's like you're trying to show the world that your car comes with an engine. Like, nice. Put your hood back on, buddy. Moving on, we have Underglow. Underglows aren't that bad, but they are typically only put on the most riced cars known to man. I want to say it got popular during the Fast and Furious era, but again, these don't look bad if they are done right. At this point, every mod doesn't look bad if they are done right, except squatted trucks. There is no doing that right. We got one more mod to go, and if you're still watching the video at this time, I appreciate you. Make sure you subscribe. The final mod, well, it's not really a mod, but it is cringy stickers. These are more than likely the anime stickers and the please be patient student driver stickers. My friend, we understand you like anime and there's nothing wrong with that. The problem is that the people who watch anime must make the whole world know by putting a huge sticker of their favorite anime girl on their rear windshield. And as for student driver stickers, has anyone ever seen a sticker like that and been like, maybe I should take it easy around this guy? No! If anything, that sticker makes everybody more impatient. So take it off and learn how to drive like a man. So there we have it. That has been 16 different car mods that I do not want to see any of you guys ever do, or I will get mad. If there's any mod I missed, or if there's anyone you disagree with, let me know in the comments. Be sure to like and subscribe, and until next time, my friends.